Good morning. It's fancy coffee time. Happy Sunday. So yesterday was our hiking trip to Ohio Pyle. I have never been to Ohio Pyle before until yesterday. I cannot wait to go back. We're gonna do some milk. I also grabbed some of this sweet cream super coffee creamer. It's like 6 out of 10. Nothing to write home about, okay? But I don't know why, I just wanted to try it. Marsha, sugar-free toasted marshmallow syrup. 4 pumps is the magic number, okay? I'm gonna microwave this. And now we brew our 19 espresso. Okay, so yeah, woke up yesterday, got ready. Me and Jason, my best friend, TJ and Lacey, they came to the house. Michael and Haley watched Giovanni until his mom got here to pick him up, and we just drove up to Ohio Pyle. Now, it took us a little bit over an hour to get there, not bad. Packed up the food, and we start off on Ferncliff Trail. I thought Ohio Pyle was just hiking. I thought it was just woods. No, it's so much more than woods. It's like Deep Creek, but better. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, not near as many people. There were a lot of people. Apparently yesterday was like the wine festival, but it wasn't like people like hammered out in public like if you would go to Seven Springs. You know, it wasn't that, thankfully. We had so much fun. And I gotta tell you, when we got out into those woods, something took over me, okay? What it was that took over my whole body was like a childlike sense of wonder, okay? I never enjoyed hiking before my injury. Like when I was younger, physical exertion was not my style, okay? I always found the easiest way to do everything. My dad, he taught all of us kids how to be lazy if we wanted to be lazy. The ingenuity we could come up with when we wanted to be lazy, thanks to my dad. Endless ingenuity. Anyways, I never liked physical exercise. But when mobility is taken away from you for almost 5 years, a lot changes, and now I love hiking, okay? So I've been getting that Graston technique done on my foot for, I think I've had 8 treatment sessions, right? And I get that done at Biddle Chiropractic. So that has helped my foot. Now I still have pain. Don't get me wrong, I'm always gonna have pain, no matter what I do. My pain is no longer debilitating unless I do what I did yesterday. Then I'm gonna be in bed early using a cane all day, okay? So here's what happened. We get into the woods. 5-year-old Desiree sees this as an unlimited playground, okay? I am 40-year-old Desiree. 5-year-old Desiree, she's right in here. We've been doing a lot of work to get her where she needs to be, okay? There are rocks everywhere. It's not just woods, okay? It's like rock climbing through the woods, but not with your phalanges, just with your feet. I don't know if this is making sense. You gotta focus. Anyways, we get in these woods. Now I want to explain to you, a year ago, my very first hike, I think we did 1 mile. It wasn't even like a full year ago. I think it was like September of last year, okay? And it's June. So 9 months ago, did my very first hike, fell in love with it. I struggled moving through the woods. I struggled with balance, fell a couple times, still struggle moving through the woods, still struggle with balance, still fell a couple times. Okay, so not much has changed. But what did change was my mindset. I got into those woods yesterday, and when I tell you that I frolicked, you guys, I don't think you understand. I was playing parkour, basically. I was frolicking, and I'm jumping from rock to rock to rock to rock. And there's some rocks that are like a big jump up or down. You know, like it's Ohio Pyle, there's rocks everywhere. And I couldn't believe it. I was going full speed ahead. I'm leading everybody on the hike. And I'm jumping from rock to rock to rock with my left foot. Like I'm like jumping up, you know, putting my left foot up and using my left leg to lift me onto these rocks. And I'm like going crazy. And I'm like, there was a part of me that like I was giggling like a little girl, right? And I never ever thought I'd get to do that, ever. And I've never felt something in my soul as beautiful as letting little Desi free in those woods, you know? And it was like boing, 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 boing. And it was like 30 minutes straight of me frolicking. And it felt so good. It felt so good. And then I was quickly brought back to reality that I have an injury in my foot. And I fell and it hurt a little bit. And I got really upset with myself because I was like, Desiree, you know your limits. Like, you pushed yourself to this level of pain. Like, you did that. But then there was another part of me that was like, you deserved to get that feeling. You deserved to be a little kid again. Like, I can't even explain the giggle. It was a giggle coming out of my body that I have not heard. It was like the most beautiful feeling I've ever felt. And then the pain kicked in because I overdid it, right? I really overdid it. And as soon as the pain kicked in, now mind you, I'm doing all of that without my hiking sticks. I'm just like running and jumping and going crazy, and none of it is with a hiking stick. And then the pain kicked in. And that was where I had to realize I'm still human. I still have severe post-traumatic arthritis in my foot. I still have the pain. And I got pretty frustrated with myself. But then I was like, you know what? No, don't do that, Desiree. Because that was 30 minutes of pure joy that I gave myself. That giggle, I don't know if I will ever be able, I know I'll hear myself giggle like that again, because it was like the place where my heart was that just let that free. I don't know if that makes sense, but I've not felt that free in over 30 years. It was so beautiful. It was so beautiful. And my husband, you know, afterwards I did have to break out the hiking sticks because the pain was back and it was getting pretty bad. I had my foot K-taped, but I just overdid it. I really overdid it. But to see the improvement in my range of motion, my balance, my trust in myself in these last 9 months is huge. And then also, I noticed right before I lost momentum and the pain really kicked in, right before that happened, I was like frolicking and giggling like a little kid again and like having so much fun. And at one point my foot slipped on a rock and I caught myself, but my butthole puckered and my chest started. And then that is when I noticed the fear kind of came in. And I started second guessing my moves as I was making them. And instead of just going for it, I got in my head. And I think I got in my head because when my foot slipped, it was a trigger for my fall, right? Because I fell once and it changed the course of my life. It was that. And I think I was on such a high, like so excited, so happy, frolicking, giggling, complete unadulterated joy. I think it was just like like the fear and the joy slammed each other. And then that's where I started second guessing myself. That's where the pain took over in my foot. That's where I kind of lost the plot up here. So my husband said on the way home, he was like, babe, I can't believe, well, not on the way home when we were laying here, because on the way home we were talking about how I was frolicking through the woods. And my best friend and TJ and my husband, they were like, yeah, like from disabled Desiree 2 years ago to now, it's a completely different person, you know? When we got home, I treated my foot. I was in a lot of pain. And I actually had fallen asleep for a little bit on the way home because that hiking just wore us out. We were not ready for it. But my husband and I were talking, and I told him, I was like, well, I know one part where I went wrong was my head. I didn't control my thought process. Because the minute that my foot slipped, I started second guessing myself on every move. And then that's when the fear takes over. I told him I was very proud of myself for how quickly I handled the mental part. Because like the physical pain, once I get my foot to a point where it's inflamed the way it is, when the pain gets that bad, like there's no turning around. There's nothing I can do. I can, you know, sit down, I can ice it, I could do all that, but at the end of the day, it's an arthritis flare-up. I just have to wait it out, pretty much. Where is I going with this? I don't know. Shit. Oh, me and my husband, we came home and we were talking, and he was like, I didn't notice that you were like crying or upset, because I told him, I said I cried in the woods, and he was like, I didn't notice. And I was like, it was after I fell. And he was like, I didn't even see you fall. And I was like, Lacey was there for me. But I told him, you know, about like the mental part and how happy I was. And he was like, you know, babe, it's okay, you did a little bit of it. He was like, you actually did more than a little bit. You frolicked quite a bit and you pushed yourself to your limits. He's like, but just look at your first hike 9 months ago. That one pushed you to your limits, and look at you now. So I was like, yeah, I can't wait to see where I'm at in a year. How exciting. You know, part of me yesterday wanted to like do what all the content creators do and like run ahead and put my phone 200 feet there, and then you guys could see footage of me frolicking. But it was my husband's birthday trip. You know, he just wanted a hiking trip, so I didn't record anything. But now I wish I would have recorded me frolicking through the woods, because that giggle, I've never even heard myself giggle like that. Like, it was, and then when I did it, I was like, who's that? I was like, that's little Desi. I know exactly whose giggle that is, because I've been working so hard to give her that joy back, you know, from what was stolen. And I did that yesterday, you know. And one day I'll be able to do it for like 4 hours straight. We had a beautiful day though. After I was hurting pretty bad, we did like touristy things. You know, the hiking was pretty much over at that point because I had taken my foot a little too far. The DeCarlo's hoagies out in the wild were beautiful. We went over to the overlook and we ate there. Had us a little picnic, and you know, it was great being there with my best friend. I wish Maddie and the girls could have come, because the girls, I think, would love it up there at Ohio Pyle, but it was good at just being the four of us, you know? And it was very healing to my soul. I'm so proud of myself. I really am. So, and I gave myself grace, and I gave myself patience, and instead of being frustrated at the pain, I said, look at everything you just did. Look at all the rocks you just climbed. Look at all the frolicking. Like, look at that. I've never been able to do that before. So, 3 things I love about myself. My determination to build my body to be stronger than ever. That's the first one. The second thing I love about myself is my bravery, because there wasn't a part of me when we stepped into those woods yesterday that was scared. And I went wild before the fear even came into my headspace. So, the second thing I love about me. The third thing I love about me is my ability to practice gratitude and stay focused on it and stay consistent. 3 things I'm grateful for. My husband, my best friend in Lacey, and my home. Peace. That's what it brings me. All those things bring me peace. Tomorrow, the kids move out. We will be empty nesters, so we'll be working on the basement this week. They're excited. We're excited for them. It's gonna be a beginning of a new chapter. And then me and my husband are gonna have this big, huge house for just us. And I'm probably gonna convince him to sell it. That's why I would love to sell this house and be off in like a tiny home, just torn, you know, just rolling everywhere with our doggies and kitties. He would not. My husband ain't about that life. Okay, well, I wanted to tell you all about the hiking trip. Thanks for hanging out with me. I am very, very proud of myself. Yeah. And I'm grateful that my foot didn't get amputated, because days like yesterday are possible, you know? So, okay. Have a great day. Love you. Bye.